Hi everyone, Medyhne here, and I'm wanting to talk to you today about my own journey to self-love and also the essential key ingredient of everyone on the planet at the moment, what we need to work on in order to be able to realize our own soul evolution and ascension and our ability to be able to really fully step into the new energies of the golden age. So I'd like to say that my background is one of the beautiful illustrations from my book, Tale of the Crown, which is all about the journey to self-love for children and how they are able to achieve the ability to love themselves through a metaphorical journey or tale. So it's a beautiful book with gorgeous illustrations if you want to check it out in the website. So today I'm going to talk about this really key thing on the planet at the moment, which is about embracing the journey of loving self. I'm not actually that good at talking about myself, but anyway, here we go. So for me, it's been a really, really long journey to be able to embrace that ability to love self. So when I was younger, I feel like, I had, like so many other people, many, many instances in my life of people that were, really mean and unkind, like we all do. I remember one time when I was waitressing in a ski resort, and I had the owner of one of the places where I was waitressing there really in a sort of degrading and really humiliating way, telling me I was the worst waitress that they ever come across in their entire life, which was, challenging when you're young to be able to hear things like that, and then to not allow them to affect, your self-worth and things like that. So, I had all those sort of things happen. Another time I remember that I was working on a yacht, and in the south of Israel, and we went out in a storm, and it was real confusing because there were ropes everywhere, and it was just me and the skipper, and I had to navigate this horrendous storm with absolutely no idea what I was doing. And I remember him saying that it was a miracle that we didn't both drown because I didn't know which ropes to grab, and it was just a complete schmozzle. So that was another instance where I had to try not to let that impact my self-worth. So many instances like that in life. And then there was also the aspect of, when I was young, yeah, I was, really attractive, but I never really felt it at the time. It's only looking back that I see that at the time I didn't particularly feel it, but I was. And so I think I was really valued for how I looked as opposed to who I was. I don't think many people at all knew who I was on an inner level, on a soul level. They couldn't see that. And, that was partly because I couldn't see myself, and, I didn't feel that level of self-love when I was younger. So then other people couldn't feel that either. But, I was really very much valued and appreciated for how I looked. And so this all was a whole journey to find and navigate a journey to truly loving self. The other thing was when I was much younger, I really thought that love was more about romantic love, and I didn't have the spiritual context that the true love that you're wanting to connect to is divine love. It's connecting to source energy, connecting to, you know, God, the light, whatever you want to call it. And so I thought that that would be, you know, romantic love with a partner, but it was really, as I discovered, as I evolved on my journey, that a person cannot give you that type of energy. They just don't have the ability, you know. People are not that able to give you the energy of the divine love, because it's a completely different thing, you know. It's a far more all-embracing and all-encompassing divine love than romantic love. And so if you put that on a partner to give to you, then you're going to be you know, disappointed, and they're not going to be able to fulfill that goal because they just don't have that ability. They're not God. So I mean, they have got God within them, yes, but you know, putting that pressure on a relationship is too much. So you know, that journey to discover my spirituality and my connection to divine love was a super big journey. And then on top of that, you know, I had energies coming at me like my, I won't say who it was, but there was an energy that came at me of someone that wanted to basically, you know, crush me, destroy me. They didn't want me on the planet. They wanted me gone. And so, you know, dealing with those energies, you have to really dig deep to find true, you know, forgiveness for these souls, and to sort of rise above what they're trying to do, and understanding too that the metaphysical journey of that is the journey to self-love and the journey to self-forgiveness, because everything that happens to you in your reality is a co-creation that you yourself have drawn in order to learn and evolve on your own journey. So when I learned to forgive this person who really didn't want me on the planet, and was very malicious in many ways toward me, I really went into a state of grace, which is a much higher frequency state where you're just able to rise above the earthly dynamic and go into these, you know, really high vibrations. And then I realized the gift in that, and the opportunity that when I was able to achieve that with that person, I was able to achieve it with every person who had ever wronged me or perceivably wronged me in this lifetime or any lifetime. And so really the greatest learning and the greatest opportunity and the greatest gift for all souls at this time is to rise above any perceived, you know, wrongdoings of another soul towards them, and to acknowledge and recognize that this is the time now to truly forgive all souls on every level. And this is like an unconditional divine forgiveness that is not attached to anything that the person has done on the earthly level, but it sort of rises above that. And you go to a place where you're able to just feel a level of divine love and acceptance for others, which then ultimately translates to divine love and acceptance of self. So really, essentially, you're doing this for yourself. And any single semblance of negativity, resentment, hostility, anger, anything that you have like that towards any other soul will come back to you on some level. So you want to release all that. I mean, I, on my journey, have for quite some time now felt like I've been able to achieve that goal of being completely in divine, unconditional love and acceptance for all souls on this planet, both in this lifetime and previous lifetimes, and to be able to have a feeling where I'm able to be relatively neutral in the way that I am able to accept the behavior of others, and it's not allowing other people to treat you badly, because I don't allow that either. I have really strong boundaries, but I'm also able to allow it to just wash over me when people come at me with an energy that is anything less than divinely aligned energy that serves my highest good. So this is the goal for everybody on the planet at the moment, is to be able to be in complete divine unconditional forgiveness, which then leads to self-love and self-worth and complete forgiveness of self. And there are many ways that we can achieve that goal. We can do the Hopponopono Prayer, for example, which is a Hawaiian prayer, which is a repetitive, like a mantra, which allows you to create that state. And apparently in Hawaii, many of the Hawaiian people do it in the morning, you know, the minute they wake up, and then before they go to bed, so that they don't go to bed with any unforgiveness in their heart. And if you've been to Hawaii and talked to the locals there, they have this beautiful heart energy. So it clearly does work for them. It's very beautiful. I have a link below in the description for a previous video I did on the Hopponopono Prayer, where you say this chant and you visualize the person in front of you and you hold that space of forgiveness, and you might chant for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, whatever it takes, and you may do this daily. Then there's soul conferencing, which again I've done another video on in the link below, which is describing how we go in on an inner level and we talk to that soul, and we allow them to express, and we express ourselves, everything we need to say, so that we're not holding anything in, but we express from, you know, a higher sort of divine state. And then we are able to, on a sort of subliminal level, release everything that we've been holding on to and get again to a place of complete forgiveness and love. And so that is a beautiful technique. Then, of course, there is the unconditional loving statement that Ian Walsh talks about, which is, I unconditionally forgive you for anything you've done to harm me. And I'll put the exact wording here. And you say this, and you continue to say this until you get that complete forgiveness. Then there are some other things that you can do. You can listen to really beautiful high frequency music, for example, like classical music. One that comes to mind is Vivaldi, Four Seasons, which is really uplifting. But there's also, you know, songs just with that frequency of love, you know, divine love, that you can listen to as you're going into that state and holding that frequency. You know, songs connect to our emotions and help us to get into that space as well. So what I'd like to do is for you to listen to this song that I've recorded at the end of this talk today. And this song to me holds a really stunningly beautiful frequency vibration of divine love. And even though, you know, you can argue that the person who wrote it is, you know, cabal, or, and they're, you know, maybe not of the highest frequency, the person that wrote it and the person that sang it it doesn't matter, because the actual frequency of the song, when I listen to it, is a beautiful, pure frequency of divine love. And I hope this comes across as you listen to the song. So this was my talk today, that the number one essential ingredient that the planet needs to work on at the moment is forgiveness. And this will lead to complete forgiveness of self and self-love. And if there's ever one thing recommended on the planet at the moment, it is that. And the self-awareness and the ability to go within and the ability to confront anything that no longer serves us and to be able to transmute that. And that takes courage. And so anyone who's doing this work, full credit to you for being able to rise above and achieve that. And this is what it's going to take for us to all evolve individually, which will mean collectively that we all evolve. And we're all doing this anyway, on many different levels. And sometimes it's just that conscious level. We've already done it on the unconscious levels. It's the conscious level that we need to then step into and do these techniques. The planet is going really, really well, despite the outer appearances of everything happening, or the karma coming to the surface, or the turmoil and the chaos and everything else. Our planet is really ascending in its frequency and its energy. And it is because of this work we're talking about. The majority of the people on the planet are really shifting their consciousness upward, in an upward trajectory. And it's a very tiny amount of souls on the planet that have been stuck in the old darker energies, and they're either going to have to shift, or they're going to have to not be able to be sustained on the planet further, because they won't align with the energies that are being held on the planet as we continue to evolve. And so it's a very exciting time. It's an opportunity. It's a gift this time. And I want you to really focus inwardly on this topic that we've talked about today. So without further ado, I'm going to play this song, and I just want you to hear the vibration or the frequency in this stunningly beautiful energy of this song. Thank you so much for listening. Have a beautiful day. Much love to everyone out there. And please feel welcome to leave a comment below about your own journey to self-love. Thank you. Bye.
There's a calm surrender to the rush of day, when the heat of a rolling wind can be turned away. An enchanted moment, and it sees me through. It's enough for this restless warrior just to be with you. And can you feel the love tonight? It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we've got this far. And can you feel the love tonight? How it's laid to rest. It's enough enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. There's a time for everyone if they only learn that the twisting kaleidoscope moves us all in turn. There's a rhyme and reason to the wild outdoors when the heart of this star-crossed voyager beats in time with yours. And can you feel the love tonight? It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we've got this far. And can you feel the love tonight? How it's laid to rest. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the